Good evening to another McMuscles Midnight Massacre Chapter 2!
Good evening too, yet again.
Yes. I'm going to take your drink because today we are watching The Taking. See what I did?
Not to be confused with The Taking of Deborah Morgan, which is also not to be confused with The Taking of Deborah Logan.
This
is what it is, Mandela effect.
thing.
Okay, so initially we were convinced this movie was called The Taking of Deborah Morgan.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, apparently it used to be called The Taking of Deborah Logan, which they then just shortened to The Taking, and we cannot find a reason why. We've scoured the internet.
I looked it up. When you put it in, you see posters, and it's like this red, scary face, and it says The Taking of Deborah Morgan, and I was like, why did I think it was Logan? Oh wait, no, it says Logan. But why did I think it was Morgan? Deborah Morgan is actually like Dexter's sister on Dexter.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
We're used to hearing that.
I don't know.
But like they changed it like a YouTuber changes the thumbnail and then title of their video and then reposts it to get more views on the same video. Like, is that what they did? That's my only explanation. Yeah, that's what they do. That's why you're not a successful YouTuber, maybe.
Nah, one day.
Maybe one day.
So the taking of Deborah Logan. We'd actually seen this a couple of years ago.
Long time ago.
I want to say like maybe 2015 or something.
A few years
when it was first on Netflix, I think. And we remember really liking it. And like found footage, we have one other found footage movie, Afflicted. We've done it, and like. The genre is like dying out super hard. Like you know, it used to be like every movie was found footage. And even though this movie dates back to like 2014, I think, I was like, let's watch it again. Like, as I remember really liking it. And, you know, whatever. Like, if we don't like it, we cannot add it. So we watched it again. And so, well, why don't you talk about the story a little bit?
So it's these students, I don't know what level, university I'm imagining, wanted to make a documentary. I think the main girl's name is Mia, and she has two like other guy, Lucky, cameraman, whatever.
She's like editing guy
to do a documentary on like the effects of Alzheimer's and like document this woman's life who lives in this small town. With her daughter. Well, her daughter didn't initially live there, but like the daughter agreed because like they live in this big house kind of in the middle, I don't know, rural area.
Yeah.
And
they're getting paid.
Yeah, they're getting paid and they're having some financial issues, so they agreed. And that's what it is. Like you see this documentary crew kind of go meet her, set up the camera, so it justifies why cameras are set up throughout this area.
And why people even hold cameras. Yeah. Even in like I'd say for the majority of the movie, maybe not extreme situations, but kind of like stressful, like what's going on here. And I mean, a grant money is on the line, so I'm like, okay. Now, while that might not be perfect, airtight, I'll accept that.
It's good enough.
Because we've seen so many horror movies where there's
justify why you're holding this camera. Like,
there's nothing.
I don't care how into vlogging you are. Like, when a giant ghoul or ghost or witch is chasing you, like, you don't give a fuck. Like, you're just trying to run for your life. But here, they were like, okay, well, we catch her doing some creep stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So
this leans in super hard into, like, the phenomenon that old people are very scary given the right circumstances. And this does a lot with that because, as you're saying, like the old lady starts doing some creepy things, and it gets very apparent that this isn't really Alzheimer's.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, because it can flip-flop between, like, this woman when she's having, like, good days or good moments and she's more lucid, is like, she's very polite, she's very sweet, she's very nice. Yeah. You guys want tea, she's fun, they like being around her.
I don't know. It's a word. I always thought of it like the bluebird of happiness.
But then she's flip-flopping and she's having these episodes and she's doing this crazy shit. And you're like, well, that's just the disease.
Jesus,
but you're like, but girl, is it?
They can only say that.
Or is it something else? Like,
they can only say that for like so many times because then like nakedness starts happening and then like her having violent outlashes start happening.
Again, that could all be the disease.
And then her teleporting.
Demon voices! Not so much.
Speaking French when she doesn't know a word of French. So the girls' camera crew, I don't even know their names. It's not really important because they're usually behind the camera. The girls' camera crew start getting like freaked out, especially one guy. And he starts going like, yeah, I'm not into this. I'm gonna go. And then they're like, I think one of them like kind of holds her up. They're like, you have to pay me like twice as much.
No, it's the same guy. I'm saying. So one of the best things I've ever seen happen in film is like, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
The guy, like, a freaky thing happens, but like not make or break, and he's like, if you want me to stay, pay me doubling my fee.
And the other guy's like, you gotta pay me the same.
Yeah, because the main girl's the girl Mia, the girl making it, and they're like, she's like, okay, fine, I'll pay you guys double, right?
Yeah.
But then something even crazier happens a little bit later, and the main camera guy who's Van it is, he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out, deuces, and he fucking leaves.
And his horn is a
and he leaves, and it's like point final. Like, usually when something like that happens, he either gets stopped on his way out and gets super owned and killed, or he has a change of heart and he comes back and he saves the day.
He hits someone with a shovel.
In the 11th hour, no. This fucker is gone, never to be seen again. He saved his life like bravo. Like chef's kiss to that. I have never seen that happen in a movie.
I can't.
Where in a horror movie where he was just like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
5 thoughties.
Yeah. Audi 5 thoughties.
Yeah.
And he's like, bye, later, y'all. And we're like, wow, shit, this bitch fucking really left. And did not come back, did not save anybody, did not die horribly on the way out. And we're like, okay.
So that was a highlight, but, you know.
To me, that was like, it was something I'd never seen before. I was like, wow, didn't know it did that.
Good, it was good. I think that's a like.
That's a like. That's like one of my hard likes. I was like, I love that.
But just to like finish off a bit of the story, it's like, yeah, there's more to it than Alzheimer's. There's like might be a curse. There might be like a thing about
rituals and that.
stuff.
It involves a guy back in the day because she used to run a switchboard company in this town.
The old lady,
responsible for all the calls, and they have the switchboard.
She heard a lot of secrets.
So yeah, she heard everyone's fucking gossip, which is awesome when you think about it. Yeah. She's just listening to all the calls. Like, that's my fucking dream.
Right.
But anyways, so she knows the dirt of the town, which led to her knowing some stuff, which led to other stuff that happened, and whatever, right? So it turns out in this town there is this lore of this killer too, that whatever. And listen,
this charismatic man from the north,
from fucking Quebec, okay?
Yeah.
His name is Desjardins, okay? And I know
Desjardins is spelt like how you'd imagine.
Desjardins. And Desjardins is a chain of like a financial institution that we have here that we have in other parts of the world. I've seen it in Florida. People don't know how to say Desjardins.
You can at least, even if you don't say it right, I can imagine someone going, or saying Desjardins or something. But what do they do in this movie?
These fuckers in this movie are like Desjardins. No, Desjardins? Desjardins?
No, Desjardins.
They're calling it with an H, and it's just all kinds of wrong, and it almost like derailed me from this whole movie. I was like, are they trying to say Desjardins?
Now, I say lots of words wrong all the time.
Yeah.
There's a character's name in a movie, like I don't know. Like maybe this is some obscure Gaspé pronunciation.
No. Aucune raison that they're calling it that. Okay, there's no
reason,
justifiable reason for them to be calling him Desjardins.
So this is one of our few dislikes.
And it's so specific to us and odd and stupid, but like, okay, whatever.
They say he's from Quebec, this like charismatic man that entered this town. Yeah. This supposed killer. And you know, the movie goes on it from there, and this will lead to one of my other dislikes is that while I really like this movie overall, and it does a lot more with the premise than like, oh, it's just a creepy old lady, and Alzheimer's is like, like this, you know, terrible disease, and it can result in these like kind of like, you know, creepy moments. Like, it doesn't do that. It starts going more, and then it starts going more and more, and more of like all this ritual stuff. And I just kind of feel like it gets a little complicated where you're like, okay, wait, now there's this, now there's that.
The sun needs to be in the 7th house, and you need to have your certain, like,
and
crystals.
You need to burn this. And
I get what you mean.
It was just, like, I want to say one and a half.
Just one step.
Too many layers of, like, okay, slow down. And then, like, a child gets involved. And I'm like, okay. But I did want to talk about that thing that we read on this movie where the director / writer was basically had this one visual in his head, and he wrote the movie around this visual. I'm not going to say what the visual is.
It's towards the end, and it's one of the like shocking visuals or whatever.
But I think that's a really interesting way to go about it.
I kind of always like that.
So it was kind of built around that, and like I felt that they built around it quite well.
They built enough that it was interesting. It was a good enough backstory.
Like I just said, maybe even like a little too much. But, it's not to any detriment of the movie. It's still really creepy. And we'll also go into like one of those other likes that we had. You were saying before about how since they're filming a documentary, we have to have the cameras out. And they go into a really spooky, like, final level to fight the boss.
When it's like shit scariness, people have died, it's a hell.
So why would you need a camera? In this movie, why did they use
They needed it because they had the big light. So they were going into a scary, dark area. So the reason for the camera being there is this light. We need the light. We need the light. They weren't saying the camera. Like,
and they had to go in there for a specific reason. Like, they had to, like,
to go.
So I'm like... And they say this in the movie. They don't just like, just in case. They just say like, I need the light, I can't see. And I'm like, fair enough. Perfect. That's all you need. And they succeed in doing what they're trying to do. And the movie's ending is also pretty strong. I'm not going to say exactly what, but obviously, it's like, well, that's nice.
That's neat.
That's neat. That could be a sequel, or that can't, or it doesn't need to be.
You could end it, or it could go on.
It's totally fine. So, watching this again, I was kind of like, oh, this is probably going to be shite, like, for some reason. I just thought, like, maybe this won't be as good as I remember it being, even though it wasn't that long ago. But I was pleased to see. I think I maybe liked it a little bit less than the first time I saw it, just because, it's a second viewing.
It wasn't as new,
It wasn't as new, but it's still really cool. We really like the woman that plays Deborah, Morgan Logan.
Yeah. Yes, that's another thing.
She's really, really good. You were saying something about her that she totally went for it.
She went for it. So I looked her up because I didn't really know her, but she came from like soap opera background. She's obviously been acting for like many decades. And the thing is, you have a certain, like, I guess, dignity, but not really like being a soap actress and an older lady. She's supposed to be in her 70s. And she was just like, my titty out.
Yeah.
My hairline down here. Like, I'll do whatever.
She could have been like, horror movies are below me. I'm just doing this.
No, but she was like, fucking all in.
Yeah.
And it really, like, without her performance, I don't think it would have been
it was really, really
as good as it was. Because she was, like, had this air of dignity when she was, like, again, lucid, very, like, all there. But then she gonna be running around little scampery naked butt. So, like,
we also really liked the woman that played her daughter. She was what? She was the
she was
sister.
Lisa from Mad About You. Like Paul Reiser, Helen Hunt. They were this quirky couple in New York, and then she had the annoying neurotic sister Lisa.
I just don't remember the sister. I remember Mad About You.
It was Lisa from Mad About You.
Okay? She was really good in this.
She was amazing. She was actually really good too. She was the one name I recognized, and she sort of carried this movie as like being on the side of the
everyone else, the camera crew, it's like they're not that great. Like, they don't make much of an impression, but then again, they're not on screen most of the time, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
It matters like the Deborah Morgan Logan and her daughter need to be like, kind of the center characters, and they are. So I was really happy to see that this like held up, like very well. And if you're ever looking for, or if you're like, oh, found footage movies are bad, I mean, this is one of those examples where I'm like, no,
it's pretty good.
As long as you think a little bit more than zero on why people should be doing this, and that, it could totally work. And really, really interesting. Like we said, the story kind of spins off into like these like, it's something that you're not expecting.
But at least there is a story. There's a foundation. There's something there.
Yeah.
And again, one pet peeve about this is that the reason why we're like, okay, let's rewatch this is because we got a Shudder notice saying it would be on Shudder, and then we go to find it on Shudder, and motherfucker is not there. So recommend it if it's on Shudder. They lied to us.
And it's not on Netflix anymore, at least Canadian Netflix.
It used to be, now it's not anymore. So Shudder is a lie, so I don't know where you can find this.
I'm sure it must be like it's on American Shudder, but I wasn't under the impression there were different versions of Shudder, but we couldn't find it anywhere.
Anyways.
So I think we bought it on YouTube Movies.
I was not happy about that, but we were like,
it was
we'll have to like
$3,
pay to watch it,
But I'm glad that it was like, as good as I kind of remember it being, or very close to it, because it's like, if I'm going to spend money, like, I hate it to be like
again, because we put it in our heads, we're like, oh, it's on Shudder again. Yeah, let's watch it again for free. And then we're like, oh, no, it's not.
Oh, well, it's not really the movie's fault, I guess.
Taking.
That is the taking of Morgan Rogan.
Morgan Thaler.
Morgan Lawler. I don't know, Deborah Messing.
Oh my God.
So I hope you enjoyed that one. Really highly recommend it. So go check it out if you're able to. And we will see you tomorrow night for another McMuscles Midnight Massacre.